Hey everybody, this is Andrew Staten. You're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. We appreciate you all so much and hope that you and your loved ones are safe during these troubled times. Take care of each other and yourselves. We also want you to know we're going to try our darndest to keep content coming to you every week so that you have something to listen to while we're all stuck inside. Before we get started, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor Arknight, whose props, maps, and minis make our game a delight. That's ARCKNIGHT. Also want to give a shout out to both Gordon McAlpin and KiloWhat, who have created some wicked cool art for our campaign. Check it out over at athpod.com in our show notes every week. Thank you guys so very much. Finally, I want to give a shout out to Michaela Garrison, who edited this week's episode. You can find her over on Instagram at Michaela J. Garrison and her dog Arrow as well at ArrowParo. And now, on with the show.
Friends, fiends, don't lose hope. I'm here with a thirst for ale and a story to tell. When we last saw our horny heroes, they had all made plans and convinced the crew to stay away from that icky sky point. Success, right? Well, now they make their way to Edgewater, uncertain of what awaits them. All that and more in these Demon Dayz.
Did they send their own team in?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
They're holding back.
So we have to give them word.
They're expecting, either way, they're expecting some word. And you get the sense that if you guys couldn't, eventually they would send someone else anyways. So they're not just going to sit there for years.
Sure.
You guys find yourself southern end of the dock. Boat's tied in, and you guys are on the deck, or on the dock.
So, Scoioel, with your...
Yeah.
Is there an accommodation that we could make use of? I'm hesitant to go back to, what is it, the Cross Scimitars?
The Cross Scimitars.
Yeah.
I think perhaps we should just go straight to the tower. I think the less time spent in town, the better. And I don't think Golatha's tower is going to be easy to get into for other folks.
Okay.
Well, how about this? How about, I'll go with you guys to the tower, get you guys there, make sure everything's fine, and then I'll cut over to the Cross Scimitar, scope it out.
I'd like to, any new faces in town, anyone unusual, anything.
I would definitely be able to catch that.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? We know where the tower is. Why don't you split off from us now? That way we're not seen walking through town together. Because if someone hasn't put your face with ours, that'll be better, I think, in the long run.
Sure.
If we need to do some subterfuge.
Yeah. She hops down to the rowboat and just starts making like she's tying it to the dock. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, you guys go on ahead then. I'm going to wait a minute and then go my own way. And
ear for deceit, just perfunctorily.
If you want to shadow us a little bit, go for it. But
so that goes back to 17.
She's being truthful.
Okay.
It's more of like she's kind of betraying a little bit that she's used to this kind of subterfuge thing. So she's let her guard down around you guys a lot more because of that. So
well, and she remembers I just changed. I had her change the memory of the tower.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, here she hops back up and walks over to Feder. In case anything, she digs back in a satchel and hands him a porcelain small black rose.
Okay.
Might be useful.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, ain't that pretty?
Should be like a cute enamel pen, but that's fine. I'll take it.
Is it Matt or Gloss? Like this is.
This is important for the
Matt.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
So I guess it's not really porcelain then. It's more of a strange metal.
Well, no, like it can still be porcelain and just like sandblasted.
Sanded on. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it still stands.
And we're trying to
less
be
than
like,
an hour.
Why didn't you give me one?
Less than an hour. I've done dealings with them.
Give it time.
Thought we were friends.
Well,
is it less than an hour through town to the tower?
Yeah. It's a pretty straight shot from the docks, the main street.
I have a feeling.
You want to duck under the dock real quick?
Yeah, I might. Who do we think I should be? Golatha's probably a little too high profile, but...
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
Yeah. Not anyone? The three of us plus...
Oh, I don't know if you've met him. Oh, you might have. Hedon?
Oh, Hedon, yeah.
Do him.
Who's Hedon?
He's another agent of the Black Rose. He's the one
He's the one
that...
that told us about the kissy bits, yeah?
Yeah. Outside of the stop. It was outside of, yeah, it's Hedon. He was outside of the Misty Step.
You should be Sven Opal Stomper.
He was Sven Opal Stomper.
Oh yeah, the really bashful dwarf over at that place that Tazlin and I shook down. We shook down a dwarf. Well, you weren't even there though. He wouldn't know.
Yeah, I guess he wouldn't know.
But it's more if we run into Hedon.
He had no beard. His beard was burned off. It was sad. But he was cute.
But I think
Be Yosef.
Sven might.
He's not here. He won't be here for
Poe.
a day.
Yeah, but Poe might actually be in town. You're right.
Yeah.
Yosef won't actually be
for a
here.
day. Be him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Poe's schedule is
Oh,
very ironclad. She doesn't change very much.
And if we're all coming back with Poe, that would make sense for anyone looking, because they know we all left together.
Yosef.
Yeah, Yosef.
Fair.
Fuck.
All right, so I will take a moment and cast Discourage Seraph
All right.
to look like Yosef for an hour. It'll look like Yosef, at least as short as I can get myself
Yeah,
to
so-
Yosef, because I can only go down a foot.
Yeah, it ends up being a little bit taller version of Yosef Gemcutter, but I don't think too many people would be paying attention to that.
Like within a few inches, or like is it noticeable?
If someone were really going for it, he might seem a little like stockier, a little bit taller. But
We just tortured him and put him on the stretcher.
yeah,
Because
My
we're good at it. You liked it.
my spell save for that is it's a Wisdom 14.
Is it off your spell save or the person who made the item?
Well, no, this is a hereditary trait. Yes,
gotcha.
this is my legacy of Dis. I gave away Hellish Rebuke so that I could do this. So it's all very
feel
exciting.
ya.
so who's rolling against it? Anyone who's
Anyone that looks like if anyone
they
that would
meant they're like, wait a
notice something off
got it. Okay,
and want to, then it's a intelligence insight check of 14.
14. Got it. Okay, perfect. And then yeah, all of a sudden we see a slightly taller Yosef Gemcutter there, and Scoioel whistles. Man, hope you're not too pissed that I shot an arrow at your feet.
Blah 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 blah.
Chuckles a little bit.
She laughs. The most genuine she's laughed in a little while. That's pretty close. Fucking, rah, rah, rah.
All right, we should go though.
Yep.
Yeah, we should go.
I'm
Time
not
is of the
super
essence.
stoked being out here.
You guys make your way toward the tower.
Stealthy. Can we do stealthy, boys?
Yeah, everyone roll stealth who wants to do it.
I need to get some new armor.
Dirty 20.
16.
16, okay.
21.
21.
4.
I am the stealthiest, and he is not stealthy at all.
Those hooves on the street.
Gosh, wait for me.
Those hooves are just going clop, 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 clop
So-
like the loudest jaunty horse
So,
ever.
babe, you know how you always tell me that I'm really, really bad at stealth games?
Uh-huh.
Now you're really bad at stealth games.
Oh,
I'm usually bad at stealth games. I play paladins a lot.
It's true.
You ruined it.
I know. I
so
mean,
you're drawing some attention.
I'm still wearing pants. Again, I wear pants. So
But
it's,
they're made of fur, right?
But you're Pooh Bear.
no,
They're
I'm
Pooh Bear
wearing
pants.
It's not. Pooh wears a shirt, not pants. I'm wearing pants.
Pooh could be wearing yellow pants, and we just want to know.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, so Yusuf in his fur pants.
Yeah, you cause
Like a pair of UGG boots.
the oddest distraction ever.
Inside
That make
out.
you quieter.
And eventually you reach the tower, and Yusuf reaches it a little bit later, just given that you've been the distraction and you're further back. Eventually Scoioel catches up with you and just like takes you aside like, what the fuck?
I'm loud.
Okay.
I either own it or I screw everybody else up trying to do it right.
Yeah, good. At least you stayed behind.
Yeah.
Cool. And as soon as you saw her, she's gone.
Okay.
And yeah, you arrive at the tower. No features still like before. Just no features along the tower. You don't see any windows or anything. It just goes up. Yeah, has its presence in the city.
But there's the sign that says,
The sign was on the other side.
Bella.
right. Well, we just touch it.
Go ahead and you walk up and you touch it. Without too much difficulty, a door appears. You see the outline first, and then the features of a door appear, and yeah, you make your way inside. And once inside, you realize it's about as resplendent as you left it. Once you all get inside that main entryway, the door disappears, and inside you see a few chairs surrounding the beverage table and the bar towards the back like before. In front of the bar counter, with her back towards you, stands Golatha, wearing a modest black blouse, black fitted pants, and black knee-high boots. She doesn't stop what she's doing, rather points to one of the chairs. Take a seat and I'll be with you guys shortly. I trust you remember Umasar. And she points the other direction. And another one of the chairs, staring at you all, sits the gray-skinned elf druid you saw next to Mikola in the storm court. She too is in much more casual attire. Loose-fitting green tunic and black skirt. Her braided hair hangs over her left shoulder and pools at the bottom of the chair.
Advantage on whatever you're about to do.
It's, I have such a bad feeling right now.
Yeah, I'm just kind of reaching.
Yeah, Golatha's wearing
so eye for detail.
Golatha the Resplendent dressed like a ninja. Like, no.
She
So
likes black.
And the fact that all of a sudden she's here.
Sorry, guys. I thought it would be more secure.
eye for detail. Perception check to spot a hidden creature or object, or make an investigation check to uncover, decipher clues.
like upside down hands.
18 and a 17, so 18 on the die, which turns into a 27.
Nothing too out of the ordinary. It's just her. It's just the two of them. So there's no trickery going on. She's just, the two of them are there.
Okay. And nothing, no predator silhouettes
Nope.
in the room.
No, and in fact, Umasar is sitting towards you, and her hands are visible, her feet are. She's not, her staff is behind her. They're all exuding a very casualness to them. And you see, that's what they're attempting to do. You see Golatha pouring some of that black whiskey that she has.
I'm gonna shake out the disguised self, just like, almost like letting my hair down. And then, very cautiously walk over. If anything, like, I want to act casual, even though that, like, I've got my cackles up.
Yeah.
But I want to give off the perception that I'm, like, super chill, and I'm just going to go for a drink and be like,
Golatha, great to see you. I'm more than ready for one of those if you pour one for me as well.
She first takes a sip, hands it to you.
yeah, and I will kind of give, like, a very quiet nod to the gang that I think that things are on the up and up.
I'm staying by the door.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me know when I get there.
You reach it.
Okay.
Surprised to see you two here.
Indeed. She counts. We're missing one. And then the door appears.
Forms.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. Welcome.
Clank, clank, clank. Sorry I'm late. You're here.
Indeed.
I walk in and I close the door and let it seal.
Perfect. Hello. Did you guys get my message I left at the... She looks at you for a minute. I guess not. I sent a message over to a few of the taverns, just a casual, be like, hey, like coded, to see if maybe you guys were around or back. Lost contact with you guys for a while. Here, let's sit. I trust you guys will all want something to drink. I'll let you pour it.
With us for a while?
Yeah.
What contact did you have?
Keeping an eye, yeah?
Yeah. Well, basic scrying stuff.
Okay.
Granted, my reach isn't very far, but there's been a lot of no contact either. I didn't think that a trip to a tower a couple days would take so long. So there's a few other things that made me wonder and worry. My first thought was you all died, but here, do partake in some of the beverage. Excuse me while I light up. And she opens up a cigar case and takes a cigar out for herself and starts preparing it.
I remember seeing cigars there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember?
She's
Because
a
we
whiskey girl.
Whiskey cigar.
prestidigitated.
Yeah.
And please, by all means, take. I have enough and plenty to spare. I'll let you guys pour it, just because I understand that this looks a little suspicious, and probably is. She takes a seat. After they've sat down, Umasar doesn't say anything. She's just looking at each of you guys just casually.
Umasar, lovely to see you outside of the throne room, and I'll reach my hand out for a handshake.
Who brought a kobold?
Umasar reaches out and takes your hand. And it's a weaker grip, but normal, forward-facing.
Why do you want to see us? Why'd you leave the messages at the taverns?
You know what's going on your side?
Well, I mean, you guys have been away for a while, so first and foremost, worry. I sent you guys on what I thought was a wild goose chase, and from our end, there was a lot more weather activity than I expected. To be honest, I didn't think you guys had made it, so I tried to do some basic scrying based off of what I knew of you guys, and I didn't see anything. And so I thought something happened. Maybe the tower whisked you away somewhere, and I got concerned. So I put some messages out to various taverns just to make sure if you guys ever showed up that someone would get to you and that we could talk. What happened? I see you guys are okay, and that makes me happy.
And you were in town just waiting for us to respond to these messages? Both of you?
No, not her. I brought her along. We hang out.
It was a long and fairly treacherous trip out to the tower, but we got there.
I figured it might be treacherous. I'm glad to see that it wasn't fatal, first of all.
I'm not quite sure of the particulars, but we were able to pass inside. I don't know if that's...
Umasar gives a quick, sharp look to Golatha. Really?
Yeah, just walked right up.
Walked right up?
Yeah, it's kind of like your tower.
I will happily roll deception if you'd like.
No, she's taking in the information. She's
right.
So you guys were able to get in. Was it just you guys? How did you guys get in?
With no problem, I say, just kind of nodding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't so different from here.
It was eerie.
Yusuf, do roll some deception.
Wasn't
I'll
a
give
problem.
you advantage because I'm agreeing.
Nat 20.
Perfect. And you get the sense that there's some caution and distrust coming from Umasar's direction. Feder, you catch on to this. Like, she's...
Yeah. I know it's weird, but...
I mean, literally, we walked around it. We were like,
Yeah.
oh, it worked. Like, it was the first thing we tried. No, I'm saying this out of character.
Yeah,
like,
it's Jedi...
It was just
Jedi
like,
truth.
You know what? I'll bet.
It's the omission of...
Like, we all came to the same, like, it was no problem.
Golatha, had you ever been inside?
No. I tried to find... I spent a long time trying to find a way inside.
It
was sealed up.
Yeah.
It blocked me.
Right, well...
And I guess it's because of, like, I'm not like you guys.
No, for better or worse, it seems to be the providence of Mord.
Really?
Yeah, it was apparently his tower at some point.
Well, that confirms some of that. Huh. Was there anything of his in there? Anything of interest?
It had... I don't know who had...
A lot of old labels. Apparently, he had a kobold assistant named
used to label
Kitouch.
things. Yeah.
Yes.
But-
That was shocking and delightful.
But...
Golatha has, like, points at Umasar and, like, there's a shelf behind the thing. Like, grab that. And Umasar is like, fine. Pulls out a book and hands it to you, Lisa. You open it up and it's just a series of artworks. And it's opened to an artistic rendering of Kitouch.
Yeah.
A scraggly, very whiskery kobold that looks like a... You know that... who's the creature in Return of the Jedi next to Jabba the Hutt? That kind of, like, angular...
Scalacious Scrum.
Yeah. Has a little bit of that physique to him.
Cute.
But the kobold features and a lot more hair.
However long it had sat empty, the place was fairly tossed on a rudimentary inspection.
She sighs with disappointment. It was... So it's true then it was repurposed somehow. It was defiled?
I suppose, I don't know, we didn't get much. There was a lot of artwork venerating the Modron inside, so...
Oh.
A lot of cool mechanical dumbwaiters, elevator lifts kind of thing. Very neat.
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like it.
Well, that's interesting.
But yeah, we kind of skipped around and tried to make our way to the top as quickly as we could. And
Were you followed? Were you attacked?
I don't believe we were followed, but we did meet some resistance at the top of the tower. We were...
The same...
And I'm
look
very
very
carefully,
pointedly
yeah,
at Feder.
just the same that we experienced in Tross.
A portal opened, and we were beset upon by some demons.
And there was nothing for a solution for that. No, like...
We closed it
We closed it the
same way. But,
We used a different gem, not something as fancy as a soulstone, but it still worked. That was neat.
yeah.
Just something
Really?
we found in the tower.
And Umasar, really?
Yeah.
What kind of gemstone?
I'm not a gemologist.
Yeah,
It was like a green one or something.
it was one of the few things that we'd come across in the tower, and luckily we had it to close. I mean, if anything, I feel like if, we wanted to come find you, because I feel like if the portals are going to continue, we may need to have a reserve of several soul stones.
At this point, since we're telling her we didn't find anything, I take the opportunity to kind of shuffle my hood and pull the gnarled staff out and hide the staff of thunder and lightning under my hood. So, and like just kind of boost up my regular bow staff so that they can't see it.
Okay. The gnarled staff that
The gnarled
closed it.
staff that, yes, they know it. So I just show it to them because, they're asking about what kind of stone. Like, I don't
the
know if there's
obsidian one?
Yeah, we had
I
to
don't know if
kinda
there's any
jam it in there.
residual. Yeah.
This is what makes me glad of the fact that, like, I can hide everything in the bag of holding, which is also on my belt of a lot of other bags and stuff. So
Yeah.
it blends right in.
Yeah.
So part of the reason we wanted to come see you is to check in, but very oddly, some part of the warping of the tower was that, and perhaps Maud's tower, I don't know, it was not as long or large at some point, but there's something extraplanar, which would explain the scrying, but...
Yeah, that would, yeah.
And the time.
We found once we had gone up, ascended and descended the tower, that an unexpected amount of time had passed.
A whole 10 day.
A full 10 day, so...
Umasar pipes up. Can I see that staff?
Yeah, and I hand her the obsidian one.
She takes it and starts examining it and just poking at every part of it, just looking it over. And Golatha takes a swig of her drink. Would you be able to recreate that, getting into the tower? Or produce a means for us to get into the tower?
We just walked in.
Yeah, it's quite weird. I wish the arcane is not necessarily my specialty. I apologize. And
did it look like there was some way to, it's probably a fucking pipe dream, but restore, undo anything?
I don't know. What? And I'll kind of just check in eyeball with everybody.
Uh-huh.
The one thing we did notice atop the tower was a machine very similar to the one at Grisnorvald.
They look at each other again. Really?
Yeah. And part of the reason we wanted to check in with you is we think that there might be a corollary, and this could be completely hogwash, but it was similar enough, while containing certain variances, that we are convinced that there's probably reciprocating towers in the south and the west. And I think as we have left with as many questions as we have answers.
Golatha swears. That would track, but then that still brings up other questions, like where could they possibly be if we only have you as evidence of this? Was there any evidence of if there were more people like you sacrificed at this tower, or if it was just random people? She's very interested in her brain is trying to piece things together and get really analytical about this.
We found a lone body of an Eldrin.
Yes.
That had been worked on to some degree. And that is the whole sentence.
Yeah.
We found the body of an Eldrin that had been worked on.
We don't know many people like you guys. This is not a good time. Umasar's like, yeah, well, with the sacking of the fucking gnomes, I know, but...
I'm sorry, what?
Golatha looks to Umasar. We caught wind of the destruction of...
Dagnarus?
What do you know about Dagnarus?
It's where I lived.
They look at each other.
He's their Santa Claus.
What is a Santa Claus? We don't have them in trust.
He kind of shakes his head. He says,
I'm
the Red Devil.
Use of bells.
They look at each other. Golatha kind of shrugs. Gnomes have a legend of a protector from the hells. And you're saying that this is you?
Yes.
She smirks. And when she does, you sense that she looks much more youthful than you might think. Because she carries herself very old and otherworldly. The smile makes her seem younger. That's fascinating. Yeah, no, we caught wind of it. I guess the Dominion has their own fucking archmage in play. That's why although Golatha won't admit it, I've been hanging around her a lot more. As a buddy system.
You worried that someone might try to magically infiltrate Trost?
Golatha sighs and takes a big old swig of that whiskey and... Yeah, if that was your home, then I guess I should tell you that the mage in question, his name is Bonham the Bane, a very powerful archmage who has apparently sided with the Dominion. I thought I was the only one who picked a side in this war, but apparently not. Although for someone like him to pick a side, it's a bit suspicious.
What's he look like?
Balding, similarly interested in black attire, very... Umasar pipes in, a very ugly face. Well, it wasn't always. But she proceeds to describe exactly what you saw through the orb.
Like milky eye and all?
Milky eye and all, yeah. Just to get it out there, although I'm not proud to admit it, we were lovers at one time, a long time ago. when we were on more equal footing. And just to give you an idea of how he is, he poisoned me, stabbed me, set me on fire, and buried me alive.
Oh!
She nods, stands up, walks over, starts pouring herself some more whiskey. I wouldn't have survived but for a coven of hags who took pity. And I still owe him. But as you can see, or maybe you can't, because we tend to not talk about our kind of people that much. He is very powerful and very cruel.
What, if you said he recently joined up with the Dominion, what was his affiliations and proclivities before this?
He traveled. He kind of fancied himself above everything. Again, which is why it was so suspicious to me, because I've been very interested in this continent. I mean, that part isn't a lie. Like, Mikla's got a good claim. I believe in what she believes in. But we are, in general, free agents. We go as we please, we do as we must, and we further our magical powers. Some of us are always looking for ways to live forever.
When you say travel, you mean like the breadth of Vistal, or are we talking interplanarly?
That is actually a good question. I would imagine a little bit of both. He definitely has the ability to go amongst the planes.
So you think he's...
For us, we're generally expected, or at least our trajectory in life is to either prolong it or seek more power. And some of us can ascend to some other plane or level of power or just absorb into the whatever is out there. It is very amorphous, which is why I turn to meddling in with the world here. It's the difference between flying in the sky, way up there, and just exploring versus being down here on foot with the people. I like it a little bit more.
Just so I have one on the books, I'm just going to do an ear for deceit for this whole thing.
Sure.
Because apparently I didn't do him enough with Scoioel to figure out that she was the head of the goddamn Thieves Guild. So now I'm going to do it all the goddamn time. All right, that's 22.
Yeah, no, she's being honest.
Okay, I figured as much. My apologies.
No worries.
It's okay. You got the yips. You got to get your confidence back.
Every shopkeep, every guard.
Goddamn bar patron.
It's hard to explain for him because I only knew him when he was younger, but he always just had a look at, like, in his eye, just a look ahead, look to something different, to more. But he was also very mean-spirited, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just went from place to place and fucked with it.
Did he always have this milky eye, you said?
Yeah.
So you think he's just on the payroll, yeah?
For him to side with the Dominion means he wants something, he's looking for something, and that thing has to either give him more power or give him the ability to destroy something. I mean, I might be a little bit unfair in that assessment, but...
Well, based on what you've said about the gnomes, Yusuf, he both destroyed their town and has access to their technology, correct?
If Dagnaruz was sacked, that would be the only... I mean, that's why they protected it in the first place. They were afraid of someone coming to steal their technology, their magic.
Umasar leans forward. I've traveled down that area, and it's protected. I've always kept a wide berth of it because they want privacy, and I appreciate that. But yeah, up until recently, it's always been protected. Of anyone who could have done something with it, it just sucks that the Dominion was able to get him. That's all.
Yeah.
What a fucker, Umasar says, and just downs her whiskey. Fuck.
Golatha, sorry to refocus a bit.
No, go ahead.
Part of the reason we were so curious about going south is we did read something about Usurper's Fall while we were in the tower.
Oh.
Scattered papers, hard to read notes, right?
Yeah.
You picked them up.
Yeah, there was a lot of... Even with us doing a fairly in-deep search, and it just struck us that even the reference of it seemed to be very generic information about it being in the south. Something about a conclave of chromatic dragons.
Yeah, I mean, that there's one element of the history that does suggest that, yeah. It's distant, way before my time even.
Right.
But as far as, like, geographically, like...
So if you were going to build, like, a southern death tower, I mean... I don't know. We're grasping at straws here, but...
Indeed.
If it seems like everything's escalating on all sides, and I think we're just in a hurry to try to get on. If there are a tower for every cardinal direction, and God, I hope it's just 4 and not 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
We want to try to get to the next one, I think.
And if there's some ultra-powerful asshole in the Dominion collecting technology, it feels even more imperative.
Yeah.
She thinks for a little bit, leans back. I mean, I guess if I were, let's get into this headspace of just guesswork here, I guess. If I were trying to destroy this world or continent with these weird towers, yeah, I mean, I guess the Usurper's Fall would be a great place to do it. As far as any other areas, I guess you could maybe do the down there in the southwest, because, I mean, it's just a bunch of dragonkind down there in Bangmar, kind of in that Deadlands area. That's also too close to the other one. And the coast west, there's not really a good place. Everything's pretty open.
I mean, the Shattered Lands, though, are not mountainous, and there was a tower in lieu of a mountain. Have you heard of any sort of mages posting up on the west coast? Any? No,
not really, no. Any of the other archmages out there, I mean, they have probably rightfully fucked off, to wherever to not be around here. Because, look, I get it. This war, like any other war, is either stupid or it's like, why bother? But it's important to me. She seems a little defensive about that. As if, like, if she were in a meeting with a bunch of other mages, they'd be like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
She's like,
well, Golatha, we can appreciate that. I think that previous to hearing of Bonham and the Siege of the Gnomes just now, I was more hesitant, honestly, to take up sides in this conflict. Obviously the doors have sealed themselves away, but the thing that we're interested in, I think I can speak for all of us in this, is like, whatever drew us to Gris Norvald is I don't think that either of the four of us want to be a party to some sort of death machine used on either side. I mean, obviously you've extended courtesies to us and we appreciate that. And
do you think straight up that this thing that you're dealing with, these towers, have anything to do with the side? Or do you think it's something else? You guys, looking at you, I can tell you have infernal heritage. Do you think it could be something along those lines?
I mean,
because there's always been rumors of the ability to take, continents or large stretches of land down into the hells through dark magic, losing cities. Not that we've ever experienced any in our history, but could it be something along those lines?
I mean, if anything, it's we went into the tower looking for signs of the cult. In the east, and I don't know, maybe it's just that there were similarities, obviously, but you yourself saw that the Shattered Lands happened a long time ago, and whatever this cult was, we didn't find any presence of them there. So hopefully we were hoping to corroborate with our experience in Gris Norvald, and while certain things obviously rang true or felt similar, it's hard to say. A lot of it was old, a lot of it was picked through.
Umasar leans in and chimes in. Do you have communication with your levels of hell? Of the 9? I ask because this seems outside of us.
I do not.
You do not? Okay.
I definitely don't.
Huh.
Haven't for a while.
God, there's no pattern there either. Fuck.
I have on and off, but this is outside of anything that my family has dealings with, or fairly low level.
So kind of a dead end, I guess.
And we keep running into creatures. These tears are from the abyss, not from the hells. So it could be some sort of, demon abomination bullshit. Right, Fetter?
Yeah, I mean, from waking up and seeing the Bulgura, it has been nothing but rifts opening from the abyss and being attacked by those forces. So I don't know if they're trying to get us back. I don't know if they're trying to whisk us off to the next death machine.
Or if they're making use of just an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's bad enough having... And Golatha stops herself. Sorry, no offense, but it's one thing to deal with the infernal element in our war we can't afford to.
Right.
So it just is what it is. But the demonic, the abyssal, that's something else. Like, that's just...
Yeah, I'm becoming more accustomed to terrestrial political concerns, but obviously my heritage is such that when anyone mentions the war, there is only one war, and that's the unending war. So I'm trying to be more amenable to planar concerns here, but you understand that. And I think for me personally, as someone who is nothing more than like a peon in a much greater conflict, I just don't want myself to be responsible for mass destruction like the Shatterlands or anything like that. I have no interest in that.
I understand. What about you guys? Any, I'm spitballing. It feels like there's something here, and I just, first and foremost, I'm here to, as Golatha the Resplendent, to side with the Storm Court. I've picked that side in this war. This
Certainly.
is just local, though. This is our dispute of who owns this land. It's, the Dominion say it's theirs. The Aasimar think it's theirs. They say their deity gifted it to them.
Right.
So it's this, I don't sense that we'll make any headway in this.
I think for us, getting south is at least to get close, see if Usurper's calls or Usurper's fall is at least worth investigating. That's the best lead I think we have at the moment, and any help getting that way would be appreciated. I don't know if that's something within your capabilities or not, but...
Well, I don't have any means to get you further south. We're pretty locked in terms of anything like teleportation. So as far as making the trip easier, all we have is supplies. If there's anything I can do here in the city, or anything to make it easier for you to get what you need.
How is the city in these past weeks? Have you noticed anything unusual? Anything since we breezed through? I feel like an increased cult activity or lack thereof. I'm worried that even though we took a pretty hefty jump from Trost, that anyone that maybe would have been trailing us from the events of the new year would have made their way this way.
Nothing has stood out. I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary. I've talked with the Jarl of this city, and everything economically seems normal. There's been no spikes or shifts. A while ago, we cleared out all the criminal elements. So we've been really working toward getting at least that end clamped down, but there hasn't been anything out of the ordinary. If you want, either I or Umasar here can stay with you. Umasar's like, I can't leave you. Like, shh, it's fine. We're fine. We're skilled here. Umasar's like, okay.
Can I just do an insight check? I still don't understand why they're here. Like, are they being fully honest with us? Are
Sure.
they...
Advantage.
Go ahead. My ear for deceit at a 28. They weren't saying anything out of the...
Yeah, but now they're being weird again.
Yeah.
19.
You get the sense in terms of Umasar's end that the idea of accompanying strangers around in like a babysitter way is beneath her. You get the sense that she's trying to be with Golatha on this, but Golatha is being a lot more intimate and forthcoming and a lot more interested in things at the face value. Umasar doesn't really, she's here for Golatha, but would bristle at the idea of being offered to walk around with you guys. So it's a lot more personal and social than anything nefarious.
Oh, Golatha, I think we've only seen a few of the stories of this tower, but would you have a spot for us here if we needed to take a day or two and kind of collect ourselves and plot our journey southward? Is that something?
Yes.
I
can give you access.
Even the fact, and pardon my frankness, but even the fact at this point that you are magically keeping tabs on us means that someone else probably is too at this point.
That is a fair cop. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I understand you've got the methods to do it and the impetus to want to do so, but it would be nice to keep a low profile for a couple of days.
For sure.
If you had accommodations, I think we'd bed down for the night if that's...
Yeah, sure.
For the day, it's like 6 a.m.
Yeah, about 7-ish, 8-ish now, yeah.
But it's about time for us to sleep, right?
You guys do look a little on the tired side.
Right.
If you'll give me a few minutes to prepare accommodations, I will adjust my tower accordingly. She smiles a little bit. Umasar rolls her eyes.
Interplanar magic.
This technically puts us in a pocket dimension too,
Spatial.
which means that
Yep.
people can't spy on us. So that's not the worst thing either.
All right, so she gets to work doing that. Yeah, Golatha sets her cup down, pours herself another whiskey, takes a sip of it, and starts walking up the stairs she starts moving her hands a little bit, starts chanting some things under her breath. And Umasar rolls her eyes. Ugh, mages in their towers.
They are nifty.
Yeah. And then she just stares straight ahead. Doesn't care that anyone else is here. You hear her from further up the stairs. Make yourselves comfortable.
Thank you.
I'm going to pick my staff back up from wherever Umasar was holding it.
Yeah, she's still sitting in the chair. She hands it off to you.
Thank you.
That gemstone that's crammed in there is a pretty interesting make.
Yeah?
I don't think I've seen anything like it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind it is?
No. No idea.
Huh.
She knows there's something different about it, but she doesn't, like...
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, luckily we found something in Mord's, in the tower.
Yeah. Yeah, the tower's nice. I guess I can see what Golatha likes about it. It's been her fixation.
Where do you live?
Trust with the Empress.
Oh, like in the castle?
Oh yeah, I get to, our main place is in the keep with her.
Nice.
I
No
like it up
towers
there.
for you.
No.
But you don't have a forest glaive or something? Sorry, is that druid racist? I'm trying to be druid racist.
Druid cyst. No, I mean there's a place below the keep that I've got. The ground is all soil and plant life, and I've grown it out and let the vegetation take over. It's more of something for my comfort. But I like it up there. It's cold, it's chilly, and the cold weather suits me.
What news of Trust? Anything exciting in the last 2 weeks?
Strangely enough, no. Everything's been going quite swimmingly. No more demonic attacks. That's been a plus. Don't worry, I don't think you guys just did it on purpose.
Well, that's good, because we didn't, but...
Yeah. Try convincing a whole city of that sometimes. But anyway. So, you guys are tiefling. You tell it like Umasar's out of her depth for just chat.
And I go, boo! I'm just...
Yeah, she turns to you.
Sorry, we've already had like 3 of these whiskeys.
No, it's good stuff. It's
Speaking of which, Yusuf gets up and pours himself one.
perfect.
Lisa grabs the cigar, but she lights it the normal way. Aww.
Can't you guys just like snappity snap and do the...
No, you...
You know, I
No.
mean, as you can see, we leave flaming footprints wherever we go, and
that would have been fun. That would have been funny.
leave an odd stink of sulfur everywhere. No, it's a fucking mildly flame resistant. That's about it. Doesn't mean we automatically all have devil blood magic or anything.
Well,
I mean...
At this time, Golatha comes down the stairs. Glad you could keep them company, Umasar. Your guys' place is available already. It's a fairly sizable room. Just go up the stairs. You'll see a special doorway with an icon of the horns. Just for you guys.
I'm gonna just perfunctorily check for traps.
It's a trap.
Just so it's... I don't know.
Like while they're looking at us?
Well, no, like if I'm looking at a door frame and like...
Oh, yeah,
It just seems very gauche. I don't know.
I mean, it's only an 11, but...
It's fine.
Is it a main gauche?
It's a Van Gogh. I'm assuming you all enter into the place, and it's surprisingly big, spacious. You enter, and it's a circular room, not adorned with too much stuff. There's some artwork on the walls, and off to one of the sides, there's a large bed, double the size of a king-size bed, but there's only one bed, and there's a few cots off to the side, and a few different chests and wardrobes for you to put your stuff in. It looks magically constructed.
one bed double the size of a king-size bed?
Yeah.
This is an orgy room.
I was just about to say orgy.
What's on the ceiling?
It's about time.
Is it a mirror?
No, actually, there's a whirling constellation of stars, just as like a decorative. You get to see like the gases, the stars, and all just moving gently, not realistically, mind you, but an aesthetic of the
Love
moving.
that. Love that.
All right, so quick nap. I mean, that'll put us at about 4 in the afternoon, something like that.
I immediately run and flop on the bed.
Oh yeah, right
Yeah.
behind her.
Oh,
Same.
it is absolutely.
And I feel like Alyssa and I are in a small elbow
What?
exchange, or is it big enough that we're not?
It's twice the size of a king.
it's-
Oh, okay,
bed.
fine, yeah.
no,
all right, we're all
it's-
flopped down. I just heard
Wait,
king.
like,
I just heard king bed.
It would look
and
kind of
was
weird if it weren't all like she made a larger bed.
So is it like a 10 by 10 or is it like a 20 by 5? Like, is it double the size, like length, or is it like a bigger square than normal?
It's a bigger square than normal. She gave you guys space.
Do we have to do like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like toes to
Oh,
toes?
Grandpa Joe and Grandma Josephine and
Yeah.
George and Georgina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, flopping on the bed.
I don't want to be toe to toe with Yusuf though, because those hooves. I mean, they're great.
Bad dreams. kick.
No. Are you jumping into bed with us, Yusuf?
He's slowly climbing on. He's not going to jump. He doesn't want to pierce anything with his hooves.
I snuggle him immediately.
Yeah. So
It's right on you.
Generally, I stay away from archmages and their towers. Too much magic. And no real oversight. Same with archdruids. Just a bunch of super duper all fucking around with edit. You know what? Never mind. My elf's gone and I need to leave. But let's do this again next week. You bring the copious amounts of booze, and I'll have more from these Demon Days.
It totally sounded like you were casting Discourage Self.
Discouraged
You
self.
can't do this. You are not
I
able.
Just like the Hulk, I cast that on myself all the time. Aw. There's so much spike in Fetter that I realized, and it's made me very sad. But no, like the Fetter stealth is like is Assassin's Creed stealth. It's not like me like do like sneaking or we're sneaking around.
Totally,
It's just like head down.
Yeah.
The problem is I'm the hooved paladin that
Behind is going clop, 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 clop. Ching, 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 ching.
I'm fast enough that I'm just like away from like.
I was just like just let me walk.
But I have my hood. But I have my hood over my 8-inch horns, and so
Yeah.
I look like a cone head.
Just let me walk down the middle of the street and own this. Y'all just kind of like
Yeah.
pick the outside or something.
Yusuf,
Are you just
I'm gonna be the distraction.
I'm coming out?
Just glitter hooves.
a look ahead, look to something different, to more. But he was also very mean-spirited. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just went from place to place and fucked with it.
So
Did he always have this milky eye? You said.
Yeah.
so you think he's just on the payroll, yeah?
I wouldn't trust that he's on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we were all thinking it, Tony. But thank you for the.
God. For those of you playing at home,
I was though. To be fair, though, I was gonna say that it was Golatha squirting in his eye, and not just. I was trying to mix it up a little.
Yeah, shake it up a bit.
Demented imagination.
shaking it up a bit is what got us this problem.
Oh no!
It's like a can of Coke
Oh no!
right in the face.
All right, serious. High fantasy.
Milky Eye.
stinks.
For those of you having not put it together, Milky
No.
Eye because of
This is not going to end.
Everybody
up in the cut.
got it.
Yeah.
Tony. Anyone that has hit
It was a
subscribe on this
semen
podcast.
joke.
yes,
Yeah.
come in the eye.
Great. Perfect.
Oh, we're gonna have to keep this into like the back end of like after the
Yeah, I'm really digging the outtakes at the end. By the way,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
In the meantime,
I was trying not to interrupt I legit was trying not to interrupt the flow, which is why I mimicked it all in hand motion.
But we all looked up and you're jerking your dick off, Tony. We look up and you're like, oh.
Literally, I was looking at Drew, and then I looked, and everybody started laughing because everybody was looking at me
Everyone
doing
was
it.
just watching you miming,
terrible.
jizzing on your own face.
Beating your hog. How are we not?
Oh God!
Well, serious. High fantasy drama. And go.
fascinating. I did not know that comets could exist in this world, and suddenly they've just crashed in on the tower, killing everyone.
Yeah, we all did. Rocks fall, you all die.
Yeah. Yeah. You enter, and
Yeah, we do.
I think I left my phone somewhere. That's fine.
Uh-oh, is it out in the living room?
Possibly.
do you need to get it?
Don't burn the world down. No, I just went to look something up and then realized my phone was here. Sorry. But please continue.
Everybody wait for it. And we burned the world down.
No.
And slept with his dad.
18 times.
Yep.
God.
18.
Lisa did it 18. I did it twice.
That action economy is
That
just.
dirty
We made it a dirty 20.
Perfect.
Yay, we did it. Great job, everyone. Did we burn the world down?
Better.
Yeah.
Your dad character must be tired.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Better, you're gonna be a brother.
Just team up.
There it is. There it is. There it goes. Oh, buddy.
I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. Whew, we got it.